Hey, and welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole,
And I'm Quana Terry.
and we would like to thank you guys for joining us here tonight on Real Conversations. And Happy New
Happy New Year! Oh my God, Nicole, it's the first show of 2026, and I'm so excited to be here with you. We went on a number of vacations prior to this show, so we had a lot of stuff going on, y'all. But we're happy to be back. We're happy to just be, alive, and we're grateful for all of that. But first and foremost, it's a new year, Nicole. What does that mean?
Ah, a new year doesn't mean a perfect life. It means new opportunities to grow, heal, and realign. This year isn't about pressure; it's about intentions.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Uh, Alignment, those are the key words for me, alignment and intentions, right? Those are the key words for me. And that's what it's really about. And we talked about this numerous times about just making sure we're aligned on our path that God wants us to be on, right? So that we can receive. We're in a we're in an energy of receiving. And oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
What what are your goals for 2026 and beyond?
So you know, for me, people always I notice that people get stuck, right? So for me, it's to it's for me to grow as a person. It's for me to grow within my relationship. It's for me to grow within, as a mother. So I want to be a better version of myself, and I'm not gonna sit here and give this big, uh, you know, like what do you call it? Like this big spiel about what it is that I want, right? Because 9 times out of 10, we sit there and say these unrealistic goals that we try to set for ourselves, and we never even do it, right? So I just want a better life. I want everything to be what it's supposed to be, whatever God deems that for me. I'm not gonna I'm just gonna like I girl, I'm like all over the place. Like if we live, what is going on right now? I mean, I just wanna yeah, I want everything to be what it's supposed to be, whatever that looks like within my household, within my relationship, within my finances,
Hmm.
my children. And mind you, my children are grown, but I want everybody to be exactly who it is and where it is that they're supposed to be, mentally, physically, financially, everything across the board. How about you?
Yes. That's wonderful. You know, all of that. And then, of course, for me, like I'm specific in what I want and even what my prayers are, I'm
Mhm.
specific in those. And 2026 is a year. I've already done like self-improvement in 2025 and even 2024. I worked on myself a lot and I cut people and things off that didn't really serve me. So
Yes.
2026 now was more about fresh starts and new beginnings, right?
Hmm.
And also continuing some of the stuff that I took it from 2024 and 2025 into this year, like me loving on myself more, setting boundaries, and that's one thing that I never used to do, right? So now I see what I need to do and what works for Shaquana. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, set your boundaries. And then, of course, it's asking God to order my steps and then also putting action behind it because faith without works is dead. The Bible tells us that. So
He
I
says
can't
all
sit
the
here and
time.
pray. Right. I mean, so I can't sit here and pray about something and then don't take the necessary steps to accomplish that particular goal.
Agree.
So I am writing my goals down, writing action steps, and then asking God, okay, if this is the right place for me to go, this is where I'm going to go. And I believe that that's where I'm focused. of course, in 2026. And we've spoken, right, about focusing on our mental health, our well-being, right, and making sure not only are everybody else is around us is good, but first and foremost, making sure we are good because we can't pour from empty cups. You know what I'm saying? We can't. People want us to give to them, but if we don't have anything to give, then we overextend ourselves. If we're not doing overextensions in 2026,
2026.
we're not doing that. No is a complete sentence, and I have no problem telling people no. And I'm happy about that. The growth that we have made over the year is phenomenal. You know, allowing people to just fall by the wayside, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think we spoke about this too. When I told you about this, I'm like, we either you are on my side, by my side, or get out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You know, so that's my motto all 2026.
Yeah, I mean everything that you said. That's you are right about the one thing. So not one thing. You're right about everything. That's your thing. But I'm just saying, the part about setting your intentions. That is true.
Mm,
You definitely gotta set your intentions. I actually had to teach myself that. So um, still a work in progress though. You know, still doing
yes.
what it is that I need to do. I am. My brain is way calmer than it was before. Okay,
Peace
so
that
I
surpasses all
love it.
understanding.
Oh my gosh! Listen, you do not understand. When your brain is calm, you see so much clearer. Okay, everything is crystal clear to you. Um, you don't force relationships. You don't force friendships. You don't force anything, and it's just like it is what it is. And that's just where I'm at in my life. It just is what it is. I'm not fighting you on nothing. If you feel that we need to fight, trust me when I say my partitions done came down. I hear nothing. I hear nothing. I see nothing. I say nothing. That's
Yeah,
it. Like I don't have no time for like the stupidness, so to
I
speak.
hear you. I mean, that that's wonderful. I feel like that's how you maintain peace. That's how you maintain stability and maintain a level of um, certainty in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are surrounded by so much chaos and confusion,
Mm-hmm.
then it ends up bleeding over into your life, and then now you have to figure out how to get yourself out of that. And who wants that? Like, so I love when you said your partitions are, you have your blinders on, right? It's like, you know what, tunnel vision. I don't see you. I feel what you're trying to do, but I
Yeah.
don't see you. I'm not even going to give you that, give you any play. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to put any focus on you because you're a non-factor. I call them like, NPCs. You're a non-player character. You in the background somewhere. I don't have the time for that. I ain't no time. I don't got time for the NPCs, cause no time. So I feel like, and a lot of people have now become that. People have become non-player characters in my life, and I'm okay with that. And it's, of course, it led me down a path of freedom, and it led me down a path of peace, and just like to embrace myself, and learning to love myself, and that is a form of self-care.
Ooh,
So
that's the key right there. Loving
yeah,
yourself. When you love yourself more each day, it's like everything would just start falling into place. And it's not saying that you didn't love yourself before. It's just saying that you love yourself more.
right,
Because I
right,
always hear people say, "Oh, you don't love yourself enough, right? Or you don't love yourself." I shouldn't say enough. You don't love yourself. It's not the fact that I mean, there are people that don't love themselves, right? They put everyone before them. You know, what I'm saying. They put the. Why can't I speak?
girl. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Keep going.
Girl, let me tell you something. This started in my office at work. Okay, when I say it was so much conflict, my coworker said something ended up falling. And my coworker was
Mm,
like, That's the devil. When the devil's around, things start to falling.
Listen, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And I don't really want to go into that, but that's what happens. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So whenever there's confusion, whenever there's chaos, you know that God isn't in that. So you got to step back and just be like, all right, you got to pray against that one. I was declaring the blood of Jesus on everybody. Like, yeah, get out of here.
Listen,
But over everything. So I feel,
and
what were you saying though, in regards to not loving yourself enough? You were saying something to that.
um, so basically, I was saying how people tend to put other people ahead of them, and they, let's say in regards in relationships or whatever the case may be. Let's say the person is like, not not that good of a person for that person, right? And you don't see what it is that everybody else sees. So it's not always that you don't love yourself. Sometimes you just don't see what everybody else is seeing. It has nothing to do with loving yourself, though. Not all the time. Um, some, you know, we all know what that looks like, but others are just sometimes you're just that person that likes to please. You know what I mean? You're a people pleaser, and you just like you want to make him happy. You want to make your kids happy. You want to make your family happy, and it's just like, but it's not enough of you to go
Yeah,
around. But I'm getting off of
that's
topic.
fine.
So, so yeah. So I'm just saying, like when it comes to loving yourself, um, we need more people in people's lives to show them what that looks like. You know what I mean? Because uh and letting it be known that it is okay as well, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And to add on to that, if someone's upset with you because you've chosen to love on yourself and do things for you, you know, that type of person you might want to get rid of them. Okay, one because they were okay with your yeses, right? But then they have a problem with
Hmm.
your no's. Like
Hmm.
no, that type of person don't really have the best intentions for you. So you have
Right.
to love yourself one enough to say, you know what, I don't deserve that treatment. I don't deserve that type of relationship, because relationships, whether platonic or romantic, there should be an equal give and take there. There shouldn't be an unrequited love in relationships. And when there is that, then that causes discord, that causes, chaos and confusion, that causes so many other things that you didn't intend. And then sometimes it's hard for you to get out of
Mhm.
that. So once you recognize that, and once you say to yourself, I don't deserve that, then you take that and then you run with it. And then if you bring that to that person and that person cannot receive what you're saying, then you just cut them off. Like, me, I would ghost somebody in a minute and not.
But you know what it is? It's like that person is like you feel depleted.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because there's just so much being taken away from you. You know, it's a
yeah,
depletion.
yeah. It's yeah, being on the giving side, you're never on the receiving
Hmm.
end of it. And if you are, it's 20%, and
It's very
yeah,
minute.
very. So
Hmm.
I'm an advocate for people taking their power back and saying, you know what, no, not today, not ever. Okay, so I'm a fan of that. I'm an advocate of people doing that, and you know, and there's no hard feelings on my end. I feel like if you're doing what you need to do for you, then you do what you need to do for you. But some people don't see it that way. But anyway, 2026, we got boundaries. We're saying no. We are pouring into people that pour into us, right?
Hmm.
We are recognizing people who don't want to be on our side, who play both sides. If you play both sides, stay away from me. And to be honest,
You'll know what that
yeah,
looks like
yeah,
because they what do they do? They sit there and they're befriending you in your face, they're smiling in your face, and then they talk about you behind
Mm,
your back maliciously. So you'll know because you can tell if you go in a room with somebody, right? And the conversation has to change, sweetheart, they talking about you.
absolutely.
And they don't even want you to know what's being said. You know, like it shouldn't matter that they're talking about you because the same thing I can say to you behind your back, I can say while you're right there front and center as well. That's the type of friendship you want. Because you don't want somebody that's gonna sit there and, hey,
Absolutely.
they be snickling about you, they snickling, they're talking bad about you, downgrading you, whatever that may look like. Because for everybody is different. You
Yeah.
know, everybody. It can be good stuff, and they just don't want you to know that they like you that much. I don't know.
It's that part, but it also, if you are, even if you're not joining in on a conversation and slandering and defaming characters and stuff like that, if you, as my people, are sitting around somebody who's defaming my character, and you're not defending
Hmm.
me, in a room that I'm not in, I have a problem with that too. So.
That part. So I agree. Yes,
So if you just
wholeheartedly.
quiet and listening to these people
Yes,
say something, and then you come back to my face and be like, "Oh, what's up, girl? What's up, guy?" No, you get cut off too.
absolutely.
Mm-mm.
And it's so crazy because I feel that people don't like me because I'm quick to sit there and say when someone say, "Well, such and such, such a blah blah blah," and in her
Hmm.
defense, X, Y, and Z. So let's like back up off for that. And they were like, "No, because it's not all about just slandering somebody. Okay, if you're going to say something, let it be what it is. Don't sit there and try to target somebody just because you can, just because they're not there to defend themselves. That makes no sense."
Listen,
So
and I used to be that one. I used to be sitting there and just listening to certain things and inserting my 2 cents, at the time on it. And I'm like, you know what? But now
mhm,
I know better. I'm like, you know what? Nope. I'm not doing that. So if you can't talk to
yeah,
that person, if you can't say what you have to say to that person in their face, don't come to me with it. I don't care. And that's how I'm looking. So I'm losing a lot of people. Uh,
I
you
mean,
know,
that actually happened to me at
I'm
work
losing a
today.
lot of people because of that. But I'm like, okay, I'm cool because integrity is important.
Yes, that actually happened to me at work today. So I had said something about a coworker. We was outside to another coworker while she was coming out. So she asked me the question, and I was like, because I said she's not for
Hmm.
us, right? So the coworker was like, "What do you mean I'm not for you?" So I
Hmm.
told her, and she was like, "That's." I said what I said. I'm standing on what I'm saying because this is what it is, and this is what you do. And I mean, I was like, what you're doing is not correct. But I said what I said. That's just what I said. I said I think she thought I was gonna back down, but no. This is how I feel. This is how all of us feel. You shouldn't be doing this, and this is what it is. I spoke to you about it
Hmm.
previously, and now I'm saying what I'm saying, and that's that.
Yeah, standing 10 toes down
Right?
on
Like
that. That's right. That's right, girl. You do that.
said what
Double down on it. You heard me. I stutter. Yeah.
I didn't change it. It's the
You know,
same. Right there.
listen, you
Like,
gonna know if I don't like you. You don't know if I don't mess with you. You don't know.
oh, but I like her.
I just feel like you gonna know if you're doing something wrong. I don't like what you're doing. You're going to know,
Part. Yeah.
because we're not holding back that information, and there are people who aren't going to take it, lightly. But that's seems like if you want to talk to me about certain things, I'm gonna, we can chat about what we both don't like about one another. Okay, that's great. Thank you for the information. But it's no sweat off my back, right? It's like,
Right.
okay.
Because it's weird. I had like a little spidey sense on me because she said she went and said to somebody on the phone like, "Oh, I don't understand why people are petty."
Ooh,
I said, "Wait a minute,
see, and she being
petty?
petty because she's not addressing you, directly, but you on the line. I don't know why people being petty. So that's going to prompt that other person to say, "Oh, what do you mean?" And then,
So I'm next to her, and I said, "Wait,
come
hold
on
on,
now.
listen." explain something to you. I don't have any issues with you, and I don't know what you think pettiness look like, but this is not petty. There's nothing petty about
It's
this
honesty.
situation. I said, but maybe you can learn from the situation. I said, I'm sitting here and I spoke to you. Other people spoke to you, and I said, and you sit up there and you take whatever people say a little, in a different way. So maybe it's not everyone else. Maybe it's you that you need to look at. Look at what it is that you're doing wrong in this situation or any other situation, and dissect that sucker, because there's nothing petty about this. I said, you coming out and hearing what I said. I said, I stood, gave you what the same energy. I was talking to one person, you came in, you asked a question, I gave it to you too.
Yeah.
Same energy. I said, no, there's nothing petty here. I was like, I don't have no animosity towards you. Trust and believe, okay? But I said what I said.
Period. You know,
That's it.
constructive criticism should be received
That's
well.
it.
And if there's an issue, then a conversation. If you want to have an extended conversation, we can talk about that. I think people mistake, you being honest with maybe being a hater or you have issues with them. No, listen, I'm just giving you my honest opinion about the work that you're doing, or how you've
Hmm.
made me feel. I'm giving you that honestly. And if you can't take that and sit back and even try to, like you said, dissect it to figure out, well, maybe I am doing something wrong. If 25 other people are saying the same thing, maybe the problem is me. But people, it's that pride and ego, and pride goes before the fall. So you mean I watch them go right down. And keep pushing. So anyway,
It
it
is.
is what it is. It is what it is. So, oh my goodness, thank you so much for watching Real Conversation. It is 2026. We have a lot of new things coming down the pipeline. So you may see some, changes in the show. You may see some changes in the decor, I should say, in the layout, the format. Either way, it's going to be great. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be new, and it's going to be exciting. And we're so excited to share it with you. So hopefully you continue to come back every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're praying that your new year, your fresh start, your new beginning looks so wonderful. Like the stars are brightly shining for you, so that you may be able to show who you are and walk on the path that God laid for you. So again, I'm your host, Quana Terry.
And I'm Nicole Jones.
Woohoo. Nicole, do you have anything else?
um, no.
No? Oh, okay. That was a long pause. You had to think about it.
I really don't. Guys, I'm sorry. She got me, and I'm real tired today. She knows I'm tired.
Absolutely.
I feel my throat doing something. I'm about to go take some
Mm-mm,
medication
mm-mm.
and drink some more tea
All right.
and well, get myself in the bed, for as long as I
Yeah,
need to be.
listen, self-care, part of self-care, get the rest that you need so that you can function. Your body can function in the way it needs to function. So,
Hmm.
again, thank you for watching Real Conversation. You can find us on YouTube every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at real underscore combos underscore podcast and on Facebook. Nicole, where can they find us?
At Real Conversations
All
2021.
right. So we thank you for watching tonight and God bless.